Hi, here is Constantine. We'll make some cinematic music using Cubase 7.5. Here we'll make a Pirates of Caribbean style piece. Here is the intro of it. Let's hear what our goal, what we will make today. This is the tempo I made this intro, but I think it must be around here to listen it more good. It's important to have a very good sound set to make cinematic music because today we almost listen to real symphonic orchestra and these are made to a home studio. So what I use here, my sound set is here now, my sticky notes. I use East West Symphonic Orchestra for most of my symphonic sounds. This is timpani, English horn, horns, trombones, cymbals, flute, and piccolo. All these are East West Symphonic Orchestra. I also use Audio Bro LA Symphonic Strings for my string section. And I use East West pianos for my reference channel. You have not heard it yet. The reference channel is the one that we begin with all of our compositions. So let's move to make our music. In order to make a piece of music, the thing needed is to play much music. So I usually, as a piano player, use the sound of piano on my keyboard, and I play until I have the idea I want to use to the piece I will make. So for this one we're making, I recorded the piano, and this is what I made. Let's listen to what I made. Okay, I usually write down all the chord progressions in order to know what to make when I orchestrate the song. So we have this chord progression and we listen it one more. Or before that, let's see the score also. To see the score, we open here, selection. We go to the beginning. Usually, when you record a live playing, what you will see is something like this, that is very difficult to read. It needs some modifications that are very easy. So you double click here in this blue bar, and you will see this display quantize. This is a 4/4 song, and I use triplets. So the notes must be triplets. And I don't want to see small rests, so I put quarter to the rests. And I want my notes to be in clean length, not overlapping each other. So I take these clean lengths, and see now in the score, when I hit apply, already things are much better. My piece is in C minor, so I give these 3 flats we need, so to be clearer. And my playing is polyphonic because of piano, so I go here I will make split because it's very, very obvious playing, and I split it below my lowest right hand note. So now here I have a much better view for my score. And this is my chord progression also. So once more, in order to hear the piano and see the notes and the chords, let's go. This was it. That's the preparation in order to start orchestrating a symphonic cinematic song. So let's continue with our orchestration. I will show you the strings I recorded. They are spiccato strings only, staccato, let's say. Of course, I played many times over the piano track in order to decide how I will put each string instrument. The spiccato basses first. Of course, I used the chord progression I have, and for the bass, I played the bass notes that I write in the chord progression. So let's hear what the basses play. It's important to know that all string instruments, basses, cellos, violas, and violins, are mostly play monophonic. So try not to think as a keyboardist and think that all the string instruments together will make the bass, the chord, and the melody. So let's hear what I made with the cellos. I will put out the piano so we hear better. Let's hear with the violas. So now we hear the bass and the chords together. Let's hear the violins. And the other. One more time all together. It's important to have in mind that the symphonic orchestra has a very big dynamic range for the sound. It can play very, very silently, but very, very loudly also. I think that you must have in mind when you're making music. So, after recording, a live recording, you must go in the edit mode in order to make better volumes and better sounding for the instruments. If you see here, the velocity of the sounds begin very low and go very high. This thing is very difficult to have it in live playing, have it precise. Precision is not very much needed, but it's important to have a general theme of what you want to play. So we begin with lower sound, and the sound goes up and up and up all the time. If we want to do more work on this, we can take one by one each channel. I will solo it also. And I can use expressions. Once more expression. And I can draw exactly the way. Let's make it for the other channels also. I'll unsolo it. Expression. Of course, later on we can do more edits. Expression. Expression. Again. Expression. So now we have the string parts almost ready. So let's continue with the other instruments. I use the timpani just to make the strong parts more stronger. Let's see what we make. Okay, let's see the cymbals also and finish percussion instruments. And some melodic. Let's see the flute and the piccolo. They are together. They are doing only 3 notes when we go to the second part. This is flute and this is the piccolo. English horn is a very nice sounding instrument. Very many of the sounds that East-West libraries, and not only East-West, has, they use very much modulation wheel, not only for making a vibrato noise, but it changes the timbre of each instrument. So I use very much modulation wheel in order to have more live sounding. So let's hear the English horn. Let's hear the horns and the trombones. So we will have, except the piano. Let's hear it all together. These are the horns, these are the trombones. An important thing is to make sure that you make the right panning for the instruments. The best you can do is Google the symphonic orchestra pictures and see where each instrument is in the panorama. So you can make the basses to the right side, the violins to the left, etc., etc. It's important to have a good panoramic image in order to hear right this symphonic music. The only thing needed, in my opinion, is to make it faster. When I started the tutorial, I had it in 110. Let's try 120 also. Let's see now. One ten. This was the intro for this tutorial. This was Constantine, cinematic music with Cubase 7.5. Whatever questions you like to ask me, feel free to do it. Thank you very much, and we'll continue with the theme in the next tutorial. Thank you very much.